Hey everyone, you're listening to The Public Affair with me, Andrew G. I see someone different every episode, but do me a favor, keep it between us. Hey guys, what's going on? It's me, Andrew G, and welcome to another exciting and super lit episode of The Public Affair. Before we continue, I definitely have to thank you guys so much for all the love and support that you guys continue to show the show. I'm so elated. I just feel like I have been so blessed. Just like in the last, all these years, but in the last couple weeks specifically, I just been so happy with everything that's been going on in my life, and you guys really truly make it better when I just wake up and see that everybody's still watching the show. So from the bottom of my heart, I just gotta thank you guys so much. And we are celebrating today, darling. That's right, with some red wine. I have to give a shout out to Mason too at Rogue Media Network. Now, Mason's over there doing the most, but he is making sure that this episode of The Public Affair is still in production and rolling. Mason, I appreciate you. When you're done with everything you gotta do, come drink some of this red wine, okay? Yes, you need some. I saw you. You need some red wine. It cures everything, okay? As a matter of fact, you can go ahead and start making some mimosas right there in the bag. I left that out there for you just for that reason. Now, before we continue, I definitely want to use this opportunity to give a shout out to just some of our sponsors of this episode of The Public Affair. This episode is brought to us by, of course, my boy David Santabañez with Alinea Real Estate. Oh, I love me some David. David is the #1 sales agent in his office. That's right, hailing from South Waco. All right, he'll help you buy a home or sell your property. Make sure you follow him on Facebook at David with Alinea. Call the number on the screen, darling, for all your real estate needs. I'm gonna just go ahead and tease you guys and say that I had been actively looking for a house this year with David. The most pleasurable experience I've ever had. He's amazing, professional, and punctual, darling. That's right, David. Thank you so much for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair. And if you guys haven't been to brunch at Pee-wee's Crab Cakes of Texas with Anika Armstrong, go Sunday. Today's not Sunday, but go on Sunday. She's serving the most authentic Cajun cuisine with a wide selection of signature crab cakes, pasta, seafood, and more. The brunch menu, unrivaled. Those mimosas will have you in all the DMs, okay? Their top recommended is the Southern Fried Catfish Special served with seafood, pasta, potato salad, and 6 fried shrimp. The fish is topped with Who Dat sauce. I'm not telling Tiff what it is. She has to go to 108 Jim Drive in Hewitt, or just order online at orderpeeweescrabcakesoftexas.com, DoorDash as well. Pee-wees, thank you so much for being longtime sponsors of The Public Affair. Nika, you queen. Of course, the Arturo's Frame, where Arturo and Eva de la Cruz, they do wood framing for houses and all remodeling. They'll also assist you with building a brand new home from the ground up. If you want the dream home of your dreams, all scrumptious looking inside pieces, you gotta call Arturo's Frame. Hablan inglés y español. You can call the number on the screen for a free in-town consultation or follow on Facebook at Arturo's Frame. Thank you guys so much for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair. Of course, to my boy Joseph Blancas with JB Auto Detailing. Oh, yes, darling, that's right. He provides mobile detailings for all of Waco and the surrounding area. Listen, why you gotta go to the car wash? Who wants to do that on their day off when Joseph Blancas is gonna come to you and make your car super duper 100% snackish, promising 100% satisfaction guaranteed, leaving your vehicle looking brand new and fresh. That's right. Pricing and such at jbautodetailing.net, or call the number on the screen to book. Facebook as well, JB Auto Detailing. Thank you so much for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair. And what is this episode without thanking my boy Juan Morales with Waco Fencing and stuff? That's right, Juan is building privacy fencings and chain link fences, perfect for all that extra at-home privacy, because you want to walk around any type of way you want. You don't need people looking in, right? All right, he also does demolitions, build wood decks, stone patios, and gorgeous flower beds. That's right, contact him with the number on the screen for your consultation to my boy Juan Morales. Thank you so much for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair and being a long-time supporter. Truly appreciate you. Let me take a drink. Listen, as you guys can tell, I am really excited about this episode. I'm just going to go ahead and say, just quick disclaimer, I'm always excited about all my episodes of The Public Affair. I truly am. Everybody that agrees to come on the show, even to this day, I still get that feeling of like, oh my God, for real. You know what I mean? With this one, it really just like grasps onto the synopsis of the show, which is like highlighting the underdog. And when this person agreed to come on the show, we've never met, we just met in the street just a minute ago. She got dropped off. I'm not saying by who, but she just got dropped off. Listen, she's running for Waco City Council District 2. That's right. Yes. That's South Waco, yes, correct? Yes. All right. And a queen, a true queen, the kindest woman I ever talked to on the phone. I'm so excited to welcome Tiffany Vidana here on The Public Affair. How you doing?
Thank you so much for having me.
No, for sure.
I'm so excited.
Yes. I'm going to push your mic a little closer. There you go. So we can hear you.
Sweet. Yeah,
yes.
I'm so excited to be here. I've watched plenty of your episodes, so I'm excited.
Are they your guilty pleasure for you, or do you watch in front of everybody and you don't care?
No, I listen by myself in my room, so can't have my parents listening to that sometimes.
I know, yes. I just found out how much of a guilty pleasure my show is to a lot of people. Like, they watch it like under the covers. I think that's kind of hot. You know what I mean? To be honest, I do. I think that's kind of hot. I love that I've reached that level of status. You know what I mean? No, Tiffany, let me tell you something. First of all, I'm rooting for you. Okay. And I've heard a little bit of your backstory, and that's probably one of the reasons that inspired me to invite you on the show, because I wanted to know more. But I just feel like with your status and everything that you've been through when it comes to running, because this is not your first time running.
No, it's my second time.
Yeah, this is your second time running. I just want you to know that I understand how you feel. Everything that you've been going through, or what I hear you've been going through, because I don't know. Might be all hearsay, okay? But we about to get the truth, okay? And that's why I got you some red wine, so that way you can just let loosey-goosey. And you don't be scared about nothing, okay? Well, me and my father, listen, the South Waco fucks with the public fair heavy. Did you see that the hood fucks with me heavy? Yeah, so if anybody comes after you, we're going to sick them. Listen, okay, Tiffany, first of all, introduce yourself to us, please. Tell us a little bit about who you are, where you're from, all that jazz, please.
Okay, sweet. So I feel like I've done this like plenty of times.
Have you been rehearsing in your house?
Somewhat.
You're good.
So I'm from South Waco. I've born and raised here. I went through WISD schools all my life, from South Waco to Carver Middle School to University High School. I've just really loved this community. So I started volunteering here probably when I was about 12 years old. My parents always like instilled, like, you give back to the community that gives to you. And this community, like South Waco, is just something special. A lot of people take pride in it. And that's something that's always been like on my heart, is that, like a lot of people are investing me. Let me invest back in my community. And that's been huge. And that's been one of the main reasons why I've like ran for city council too, because this community has invested so many resources, so many people who are rich with stories. And so I feel like it's to give back to my community for sure.
I think that's so great. That's so kind. And I just learned the importance of giving back to. Really, I will say, just this week alone, I've learned that what goes around comes around, like in a good way. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I think that's really good. A lot of people don't find the courage to really stick up for their city's needs and such like that. You know what I mean? Sure. And sometimes there's misrepresentation of the city. Yeah. We'll just go ahead and start there. Whoever you guys had last time, whatever. Okay, but anyway, no, can somebody tell me what they did, please?
True, but yeah.
I'm pretty sure I had to get in alignment when I ran over that pothole. That's all I'm saying. But but no, I'm kidding. Okay, listen, we're not throwing shade. I promise the network I'd be nice. Okay, okay, but what about your life growing up, Tiffany? So you are from South Waco. I know that a lot of people that I've had on the show, being from North South Waco, East Waco, I'm from New York, so I only knew New York and then living in Hewitt. Like, it was just there and there. You know what I mean? So was the experience the same for you in terms of family dynamic? Like, things might have been a little bit on the rough side, or would you say you had a little bit more of a fortunate upbringing?
I would say I had more of a fortunate upbringing. Like, even though my dad, he is an immigrant from Mexico, he came here to the States probably when he was like 4 or 5. Like, he never let that be a barrier to providing a better life for us. Yeah. So that's something that, like, I'm super, super proud of him about. Like, he's also serving in like local, like, he's on the school board. So
cool.
Yeah, so that's cool. He's
that's
also
Who's your dad?
Jose Vidana. He has a huge beard.
Do I know him? How do I know him?
He's a mailman. Is
he a mailman?
Yeah.
Jose Vidana. I know him. I'm drinking wine, but I want to say I think he's hot, but I don't know that for sure. I don't know if I've ever met him in person.
Maybe.
This is not Jose that owns La Pared. No. Oh my God.
He's a mailman.
Do I know your dad? I think I know your dad.
So what area do your parents?
My parents do live in South Waco. They live by University.
Okay, so he's their mailman. That's where you know him.
Is he their mailman? Okay.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't know that because I don't live with my parents.
Well.
Maybe did he run for something?
Yeah, he ran for school board probably like 2-3 years ago.
Maybe that's how I know. I feel like I said I'd vote for him because I wanted to slide in his DMs. But now that I know that's your dad, I'm not going to do that. Okay. I feel like that's what I said. I said the same thing about this other guy that I met that was running for school board. I don't give a fuck about the school board. Like, I have no kids in school. Like, I was like, yeah, whatever. I didn't vote for him, but I did think he was really hot. So nice, I was very open about that, Tiffany. I don't care. I do not fucking care anymore. Okay. So no, so wait, Dad's immigrant from Mexico, but he still he's still like super involved in the city and stuff like that.
Yeah. So he serves on the school board. He's been doing that for the past, I want to say 4 or 5 years. Which is crazy too, because you think of like all the barriers he had to like go through in order to like serve and step out in the community. But he's loving it. He's doing his thing. Yeah, he shows up.
Would you say seeing him run for something that means something inspired you to do that, like in a broader aspect? Because, I mean, it's the school, like make sure the kids get their lunch or whatever, but you're doing something for the city, which has to be like a lot more of a daunting task, would you say?
Yeah, for sure. So he's definitely been an inspiration in just like, you have to step out. You have to take that leap of faith. Like, you know what your community needs. You've lived in your community.
Right.
And you like, you associate yourself with all the like your neighbors, your community, like you're not afraid to show up and step out. And that's something that I kind of like loved about his leadership is like you invite him somewhere, he's going to be there. Like
Really?
he doesn't even matter that he works 8 to 5. He'll find a way to be there. Like
I'm going to invite him to my house. Is he going to be there?
Oh, maybe not. Maybe not, Andrew.
Is he still married? Is he still married?
Yeah.
Your parents are together.
Yeah.
No disrespect to mom. Listen, I'm not going to slide in your dad's DMs. Only because you said that. If you never said that, I would have went to go look him up.
Yeah. They've been married for about 25
that's
years
awesome.
now. So
what a good what a good representation of family values. A man that's actually been married faithfully to his wife for 25 years.
Yeah.
But
yeah, he's great.
I'm you see me throwing my little subtle shade, right? Okay. So, no, you know what? So growing up in South Waco though, like I will tell you that when working with David, I was specifically looking for a house in South Waco. You know, I love my North Waco people too and my East Waco people. I love you guys. They've all been on the show. They have. But I feel like South Waco was a little bit more convenient in terms of like, the highways right there and stuff like that. Houses are fucking expensive now. Like, what the hell? I thought you guys were the hood. That's not hood prices. That's not hood prices. I was telling David, what is this $1,600 a month? No. But how do you feel like the city has evolved since the years you've been growing up in it?
Yeah, so you mentioned housing. Like, that's huge for the city. Like, that's one of their key points is trying to make affordable housing. And I think especially in the areas where we have low income constituents and, like, neighbors. So it's kind of crazy. I see, like, I don't know if you're familiar with the term, like, gentrification.
Yes, I am.
Like, that's happening all around South Waco.
Okay.
And they keep on allowing it to happen. And that's something that is bothering me because, you know, like my neighbors in the community I grew up in is becoming more and more Airbnb based.
Yeah.
These houses do not look like.
Okay, I don't know what y'all trying to get away with them Airbnbs. I remember when David showed me a house, he said, "Oh, this one's certified to be Airbnb." I said, "This one, I'm not buying this for an Airbnb." Okay, I want the beach and I want mimosas. I'm not fucking South Waco and Dutton. Like I just what the no, and no shade. You know, I love Jimenez Bakery and I love Alley's Drive-In, but that's not Airbnb-ish to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
So do you think there's a wrong group of people trying to represent it as that?
I
that what
believe
bothers
so.
you?
That's something that has always bothered me with leadership is that they're not like speaking up for our people. Our people are telling them our needs and, you know, like affordable housing is one of them. They're afraid to get pushed out of their own neighborhoods. Like you should not be afraid to get pushed out of your neighborhoods. This is somewhere you called home for the past like 50 years.
Yes.
So to me, that was just alarming. And that's another reason why I chose to run. Like, I'm not going to have my community keep on getting like pushed out and pushed away.
Okay.
Like,
do you think that the opposition, for lack of a better term, is trying to conform into being a sellout? Maybe. Do you know what I mean? Like forgetting where we live. Not to say that it has to stay, you know, like hoodish. I don't want to sound ignorant. Do you know what I mean? But you mentioned gentrification. So do you think that they're spending more time like, oh well, we are gonna move you guys out because I want to cater to this group of type of people? Does that make sense?
Yeah. So. That's a good question. Yeah. So I think Waco, especially within the South Waco area, like Dud and everything you've talked about, like it's very touristy and that's what they're catering to. Like that brings in a lot of the city's money. So to me, yeah, I mean, the opposition is like, okay, yeah, let's build these big hotels in downtown. And like, you can literally drive down the street on Dead and you're like, what the hell? Like, what is going on?
It's so crazy how much it's like everything. I mean, I think it's cute or whatever.
Yeah.
But I never get it from that aspect. Like when you're talking about it now, I was really excited to have you on because I love getting your perception.
Well, like, yeah, there's that fine line. Like you drive across, what is it, like 11th, and then you start seeing all the Airbnbs. But you go that way, the houses are still in poor shape. Like,
right.
It's like, it's evident, you know, like,
So you would rather like to see, like instead of gentrification, for, you know, using that term, you would like to see them like, why don't we cater to these people that have been here for 20, 30 years? Why don't we help them, you know, kind of get it together instead of just like pushing them out? A
good term for that is revitalization. So like revitalizing the communities that have stood there, the people that have been calling South Waco home for like forever. Like it's crazy because I feel like the city sometimes wants to buy these people's property and like let's keep on like building, and you know, it's just becoming not affordable to live in South Waco, and that's supposed to be one of the most affordable places.
That's what I'm saying.
Like,
girl, I had to turn down like 3 houses. I was like, David, like, I mean, don't get me wrong, but it's $1,500. I thought that was Hewitt prices. You know what I mean? Yeah, I thought so.
And I feel like that's why a lot of people are moving out there because like the same price of home you can have right here in South Waco, you can go to Hewitt or Woodway and have the same like.
Do you think it's such a bad thing though? Like when it does start coming up, like looking cuter, or do you think that there's just kind of like an underlining foreshadowing that we're not seeing as just a basic community?
I think finding balance between that, like, yeah, catering to your tourists, and yeah, we do need money from the tourists that come in, but also
Right.
keeping the culture of South Waco, because you're losing all that culture.
Yeah.
South Waco was so like tight knit, so like community based, and now it's like everyone's moving away. Like some of the neighbors I had are now living like in Hewitt and Woodway, and you're
Right.
like, what the heck? Like y'all lived here for 20 years. Like,
I knew a guy that was running for the city in Hewitt one time, and he was so insufferable. I'm not gonna lie, I was happy when he lost. Now I don't really get involved in politics, I really don't. But like I had to work with him when I was in radio, and I was like, oh my god, I just want to gouge my eyes out every time I even hear his name. And then he ended up getting like 3 votes. Like he's, you know, the KWCX want black people. They do. They put the polls.
yeah,
they did. They
right
put
at the bottom of the
They
TV.
did. It said like 3%. I was like. I was like, you and your
so
parents, that was it?
crazy.
That was all who voted for you?
is
Do you, you know, how do you feel like you're representing then your city as you will? Because, you know, I remember on the phone, I told you not to say too much, but you mentioned that you were getting a lot of like pushback because of your age. I mean, you're rather young. What are you, in your 20s?
Yeah, I'm 25, so
Yeah,
right
girl.
there in between.
Let me tell you something. Good for you. Good for
Yeah,
you for standing up for a cause, though. Because when I was 25, I just lost my virginity, so I was just trying to be a hoe. I'm not even gonna lie. Okay, so okay, I was like Craigslist and all this, but no, but so for you, do you feel like you do get a lot of pushback and like, well, who is this 25-year-old little girl trying to tell us what to change and this and that? You know what I mean?
Yeah, so a lot of people are like, you're not educated. And I'm like, what do you mean I'm not educated? Like, I'm working on my 2nd degree right now. I've lived in this community for most of my life.
Yeah.
Like, I've learned to love this community. Like, I show up and I continue to hear people and what their concerns are. Like, what do you mean I'm not educated? And like the lack of experience, a lot of people are like, you know, you bring nothing to the table. And it's like, what?
They're telling you this? Is this what these people are telling you?
Yeah, like
Bitch.
it's a lot. Like
Yeah.
it's like, what the hell? Like, you don't even know me, and it's people who don't know me.
yeah.
That's the crazy thing.
Welcome to my fucking world. You go on
Yeah.
Facebook one day and all of a sudden you're a whore. Well, yeah. You're this and that and the other, and you did this, and I'm just like, oh shit, bitch.
Yeah, and it's people, and it's crazy too. Like, it's just it blew my
speak your
mind. Like,
yes.
it blew my mind. I was like, there's people who are telling me like stuff, and I don't even know who the hell they are. Like, what? Like, yeah, and like a lot of people were like, oh, shouldn't you be concerned about like starting a family, getting married, and all this stuff? I was like, okay, why is my personal business like any of your concern?
Okay.
Like,
Tell your husband to stop trying to start a family with everybody else and shut the fuck up. Okay, what about, why don't we start there? You want to go there?
true. Yeah, and a lot of people are just like, they're so ugly, and
Yes.
I don't want to say that like I've always had like people treat me like nicely and kindly, but like that was a whole brand new world to me. Like, what the heck? Like, people not
Like how-
believing you. Yeah.
Yeah, like how like backstabby they are.
Yeah.
What's the worst thing somebody ever said to you you've heard about behind your back?
I'm trying to think.
Mm-hmm.
Well, one was like somewhat of an associate of mine, and I would have considered them close, and they
Yeah.
were like, they literally like Zoomed or FaceTimed me, and they're like, you know what? Like, I'm not supporting you because you're too young. You're like, I don't think you can do it. Like, that's too much pressure on you. Like, you don't know what you're getting yourself into. And I was like, okay, if I don't know what I'm getting myself into, why do I continue to run? Like, yeah, it doesn't make sense. I think people are always preying on your downfall,
Yeah,
and
they
just
are.
waiting for you to lose.
I
so.
just made a post about that today on the Public Affairs Facebook page. You know, it's been happening a lot. You see things in a different perspective. The more you're elevating, the more you're growing. You know what I mean? It's unfortunate that you have to go through that. I'm sure it's people that you are from the same city as you, that grew up with you.
Yeah. And people that you like admire their work, you love what they do, and then they go around and they're like, nope, not you.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know. I think local politics too, like, I hate using the word grooming.
No,
but,
yeah,
like,
say it.
They,
say
like,
whatever you want.
They groom people to
Yeah.
take their spot. Like,
Yes.
oh, you're not the right fit. You're not the person we wanted to be in office. So let's not choose you. Like, no.
Yeah.
And that's so ugly, because it's like, that's why we keep on getting this leadership that's like not good, not effective, not working, not like caring about their city. Like, they're just taking up a spot, having a leadership role. That's it.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm laughing because there's a train in the back.
Oh, yeah.
That's awesome. I don't know if that was a sign that maybe that person's getting a train run on them. But anyway. No, okay, so in terms of running for the city council, what inspired you to do so in the beginning, Tiff? I mean, because again, you are young, and a lot of people your age at 25 are just exploring themselves. They're getting, like experimenting and doing things they have no business doing, getting their lives together. What made you say, but you want to know what, I'm going to stand up for a greater cause and run for this position?
Just a lot of the projects that were going on within the city of Waco, like the lack of transparency. I'm like, okay, like the Floyd Casey thing, for instance. They're like, there was no community input on that. And I'm like, so you're just gonna build housing all on that place, but you don't care about the people it directly like impacts. Like, and like the city of Waco, one of their goals is like, you know, we're going to be transparent. We're going to try to have community input. But why wasn't it for our Hispanic neighbors?
I see.
So I was like, okay, that's
like
crazy.
They were being sellouts. Like they were being sellouts.
Yeah, and like my grandma literally lives down the street from that, and she was like, yeah, she had no clue, and like that to me, that's alarming. Like what?
What? Yeah.
And then the same thing with the Salvation Army moving to LaSalle. They were like, no community input. Even the small businesses all along that corridor, they had no idea the Salvation Army was moving from downtown to over there.
Oh, wow.
And they found out like through a Waco Trib article.
Yeah.
And it was like, it was already too late to go like speak up against it. Like, it's a done deal. The city did it already.
Why do you think they do stuff like that? Like, what is all that about?
I have no clue. That's why it's like,
I don't mean to interrupt your story. It just I kind of just see things differently now. This is kind of weird.
No, it is weird.
Yeah,
it is weird.
It's so okay. But anyway, okay. So then you're getting pissed and tired of it.
Yeah,
okay.
Like I'm tired of there being people in leadership who don't represent the people that they're supposed to be representing.
Right,
like these people elected you, they trust you, and here you are just like voting without them. You don't care what their input is, and that's something that really bothered me. I was like, you're literally serving people like our neighbors, our community, and you don't give like. You don't care about their opinion.
You can say
you
don't give a shit. That's okay. Yeah, we can curse on this show. It's not radio. Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
Like you don't give a shit about the people that you're trying to like serve. Like it's crazy. Like, yeah, to me that was just a big like red flag.
Okay,
like,
okay.
Yeah.
So then you decided, okay, I'm gonna stand up. I'm gonna try and do something and be the change.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah, for sure.
God, Tiffany, you know what? This is getting super duper juicy, right? But of course, we have to take a quick break, okay? And when we get back, we're gonna learn more about Tiffany running for the city council, some of the things that she's had to go through while running for the city council, and so much more. So make sure you guys stay tuned here on The Public Affair. Hey guys, I hope you're enjoying this super informative episode of The Public Affair. My very special guest, Mrs. Tiffany Vidana. Before we continue, I definitely want to use this opportunity to give a shout out to just a few more of our sponsors of this episode of The Public Affair. Of course, to Julian and Ana Banda with Banda's Hauling Service. They rent and dump trailers. You fill it up and they haul it all away. All that little junk and stuff that you got accumulating in your yard. All you got to do is call Banda's Hauling Service. Your car breaks down. They come, they pick it up, they tow it for you at a super affordable price. They remove tree brush removals, haul cars in and out of town, and so much more. Book now with the number on the screen to Banda's Hauling Service with Julian and Ana Banda. Thank you guys so much for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair. Of course, to Francisco Magdaleno with Magdaleno Drywall Solutions, specializing in all drywall services, including residential and commercial, specializing in interior and exterior paint as well, sheetrock, and so much more. Also, if his employees, they get like a little hot and steamy, they take their shirts off. They take their shirts off. He was on this show. One of his employees slid in my DMs. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Shout out to Victor. Call the number on the screen and book today with Magdaleno Drywall Solutions. Francisco, thank you so much for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair. Of course, the Blue Star RV Services with Manny Guerrero. He's a mobile RV tech who can fix all RVs. That's right, travel trailers, fifth wheels, toy haulers, and so much more. You guys be buying those brand new RVs. Something's wrong the next day. You don't want to take it nowhere. Manny Guerrero's got you. He deals with the warranty companies as well, so you don't got to deal with all that mess either. And you know, listen, all you have to do is pay one small fee, and he's super professional, super reliable. To Blue Star RV Services, make sure you follow on Facebook and call the number on the screen. Manny Guerrero, thank you so much for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair. Of course, the G-Boss Party Rentals and my boy Hugo Garcia. You can hit him up for mostly all party rentals, including bounce houses, dunk boots, water slides, and so much more. He'll even give you a mechanical bull. I love mechanical bulls. Yes, he said he wanted me to ride it and take a video of it, and I love a party with good mechanical bull. And G-Boss Party Rentals has got you. Call the number on the screen. Follow on Facebook at G-Boss Party Rentals. Hugo, thank you so much for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair. And of course, to Sid Rodriguez with Elite Barbershop, located on Hewitt Drive, making sure I look super snackish for Miss Tiffany Vidana. You can call the number on the screen to book or download the Squire app. Walk-ins are welcome as well. They also have Marcus Guerrero, Chris Reyes, Santos Cordova, David Rodriguez, Isaac Chavez, Clint Flesher, and Isai Reyes, making you look as snackish as I am. Walk-ins are welcome as well. To Elite Barbershop, thank you so much for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair. Okay, guys, that's it. We're going to get right back into it. Miss Tiffany Vidana, we were just learning about how she was running for the city council and all them, you know, those dumbass people, whatever that they, you know, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something real quick. I don't give a fuck anymore what I'm drinking because this is a celebratory weekend. You know, I just bought a new car. I just bought a new car. Yeah, shout out to Fernando Contreras. Yes.
I just saw you pull up in that Kia too, right?
Isn't it cute? You know, I was due
cute.
for one. My fucking car needed a paint job. The bitch started dying. it had a dent in it. Everybody's like, Andrew, why do you drive around in that car? And I never treat myself, Tiffany. That's the problem. And my really good friend Marl said, Andrew, bro, go buy a fucking car.
That's a form of self-care. Take care of yourself.
Well, for real. Well, and plus my car really wasn't making it. My old car, it fucking ran forever. And it just started, you know, all those problems come about. right? And then your shit starts dying. And I was telling David, like, what's going to happen is I'm going to buy the fucking house and my car's going to break down. So I need to go buy a car. So listen, big shout out to Fernando. Fernando at University Kia. Yeah, he'll take care of you guys. All right, listen, so you were just talking about how you were, tell me about your first experience running for the city, please. Because I remember in the phone, okay, listen, fuck it. Vera is the one who told me all about you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we love Vera Castillo. We love her. I love her, love her, love her. She was on this show too.
Mm-hmm.
Love her. She was the one telling me that you were getting all this backlash and everybody was trying to do you, tear down signs and everything. Tell us what happened your first run, please.
Yeah, so my first run, it was just crazy. I had all the support. I had people, and it's like they were like, "Oh, my sign went missing. My sign's not there anymore." I had a few signs break. I don't know if they mysteriously broke because of the weather or but yeah, you never know. But the same people I was running against, they blamed me for like tearing down their signs too. Yeah. So I'm like, okay, maybe local politics is just messy. It's fine.
Yeah,
like, whatever. Maybe the weather did it. Yes. We'll see.
So the weather just took your sign and snapped it in half. Is that what happened?
See, maybe.
No, Tiffany, I'm calling bullshit right now. Listen, we don't see on the public affair. Okay, this is what happened. Yeah. But anyway.
But yeah, there's just a lot of backlash, and a lot of people were like, last time running, there was 2 other candidates that I ran against as well, and just like a lot of the times I was like, it was just crazy. Like at the, what are they called? Like public forums or whatever. They were just always trying to make me look dumb all the time. And like,
really?
Yeah, like the questions they were
asked. Is it
like
the debates and stuff like that?
Yeah, somewhat.
Okay,
they're not debates. They're supposed to be friendly, but people bring heat to those, like whatever.
Well, especially when that last queen was probably fucking there too, and he was probably snapping his goddamn fingers like a bitch.
Yeah, some of them were just asking questions like, "Oh, she shouldn't know this. Let's stomp her up or whatever." It's like, okay, but everyone's always surprised when I do bring the heat and I do know my stuff. So it's like,
so you're saying you were clapping back is what you were saying?
Yeah, like I don't care. Like,
don't fuck with no Tiffany, y'all, please, okay?
Like I'm gonna do it. Okay, listen, I'm not a bitch in that way, but I will bring like the educated stuff. Yes. I will make you be like, okay, maybe I shouldn't mess with her. Maybe she does have a point.
Do you use big words to piss people off too? Because I do.
Yeah.
Yes, I do. Absolutely. I will use big words to fuck with you all day. I'll pull up my thesaurus and don't fuck with me. I'm not an idiot. I might do stupid shit sometimes, like sleep with more than one man, but that's I'm not an idiot.
I think that's what people think. Young people are stupid, and it's like no, like my age has nothing to do with like what I know. So it's like, okay. Yeah.
So you feel like they were really gunning for you? Do you think that it was a fair race, would you say, or?
It was a pretty fair race. I mean, this past time I only lost by 19 votes, which was like usually everyone else who ever ran in the past, they always like lost by bigger margins. So like to even come this close to someone who has had the seat for like as long as I've been alive,
for sure.
Like that was like that was great. Like
I
was really surprised. I was like, okay, like I'm about to get blown out the water, but I don't care. Like I'm still gonna show up for my community.
That's it. Still do your thing. Yeah. Okay, I got you. So, besides the tearing down of signs and them making you look stupid, were there some times during that first race because of all like the pushback that you were getting from these higher ups or whatever? Did you ever feel like you wanted to throw in the towel and say, "Listen, this is not for me. I'm out"?
Yes, but I think I've just had a lot of people in my corner. Like I will not lie. Like anytime I'm feeling down, anytime I'm like, maybe this is not for me. Like I always call up my mom. I call up Vera sometimes. I call up, and Vera always has a great way of like empowering people. That's what she does. Like,
for
she's
sure.
great at that.
Yeah, for sure.
So she connected me with like a whole group of ladies too that are just like, they're so inspirational. They empower me. Like they're doing a raffle to try to like raise money for me right now for my community.
I did see that, yes.
So just to know that there's so many people who support you, even though they don't live in your district, but just seeing the love and outpour from people have been like, it's been like impeccable. Like that has had like such a huge impact on me.
Yes, I agree. And you want to know what? I'm just going to say this too. I've worked in media for almost a decade. I was on the radio, and I've seen a lot. Like there is a group of people in this city. I'm not naming anybody specific. I'm just saying there's a group of people in the city who pull the wool over our eyes as to who they truly are. Yeah. And I think the city is finally coming to terms like, okay, we're being duped. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Like that. I think that there is misrepresentation.
For sure.
And I'm just going to say this too. I think there sometimes is misrepresentation on who we call leaders, specifically in the Hispanic community. I've said it on the show. I'm very open about that. There are some people who I consider great Hispanic leaders. Like, listen, I love Adrian Fajardo. I love Dominic Villa. I think they are perfect representations of leadership in the city. I
Yeah.
think that whoever the city thinks, whoever they have, I don't think, because I'm like, y'all are fucking stupid. Or either we're all stupid or you guys are all in bed with each other. How do you feel about misrepresentation as it pertains specifically to Hispanics? Because that's what we're talking about right now.
I think, I don't know, like, I don't like to speak bad about anyone,
I don't
but
speak
like,
about them, that's my opinion.
yeah, that's true. But like,
yeah.
I think we are like, people have a time and place of when they should serve,
Mm-hmm.
and that's kind of where I'm at now. Is like, if someone's had the spot for like 24 years, and obviously nothing has changed in South Waco,
Right.
like, I don't want to say like the roads are still like shitty, like everything, sidewalks are not accessible at all.
Right.
Like, what are you doing with like taxpayer dollars,
Yeah.
So I think there is this like masking and like, oh, they're so great, they do so much,
Mhm.
but like, that's not genuine leadership. Genuine leadership is you meeting with your neighbors, you block walking, you making sure
Right.
that you're hearing your people.
For
like
sure.
and that doesn't happen in South Waco at this like at this point. Like, and that's something else that kind of bothered me. Like, these people might have been great representation like 20 years ago, but now it's like,
No.
your time and place, when there's like, when leadership becomes complacent, like there's no movement, there's no nothing, like, then it's your time to go. Like,
well, it's almost as if some of them conform to like, okay, who do we look good in a picture with? And I'm in bed with this person, and I know the owner of this company, and I know the fucking, I don't know, mayor of this for city or whatever. Well, by the way, I've wanted Dylan Meek on the show for a long time, but I think he's scared. But no, I'm just saying, I've seen a lot in my career. Do you know what I mean? And I feel like there are a group of people that really are just like in bed with each other. Their shit don't stink. And, that's why I really like that the hood fucks with me, because I feel like I'm just being genuine.
Mm-hmm.
And then they just like attract to that. And I feel like that's what's opened a lot of doors for me, so I love that. You know what I mean?
That is so
but I
true.
never wanted to like conform, Tiff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I never wanted to just be like, oh, well, I'm going to go hang out with these group of people because they've got it together.
Yeah.
I've done hostings before where it's those people there. And then I'm like, where's my peeps? Do you feel like you have peeps?
I do.
See what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Like, when I do go to leadership events, sometimes I'm like, okay, I do feel like the outcast,
Yes,
but
absolutely.
I'm not going to like conform to those people, like,
Right.
because those are the same people that are talking crap and shit. Like,
Right.
like, it just doesn't make any sense. So I'm like, you know what? Like, I've learned to kind of like stay away from people and find genuine people to like be part of my life, because at the end of the day, those are the ones who are investing in you,
For sure.
and they're the ones that you can invest in as well.
Yes.
So,
Tiffany, let me tell you something. My audience is fucking with you. Let me tell you, I think I can speak very clear. We're very similar.
Yeah.
We don't conform to that mess. You know what I mean? Now, again, there are like some people in like Hispanics in this city, like in little high ranking positions that I really do feel like represent us really, really, really. I love like Ashley Oliveris. Like, I love her so much.
She's
I
great.
love her. She's gorgeous. I invited her on the show. And we've known each other for a long time. We knew each other back in the party days. I've seen her come out for, again, I love Adrian Fajardo. I love Dominic Villa. Like, those to me are you know what I mean? Vera, especially, you know what I mean? Those are representations of leadership in this city. I don't know what else y'all are doing over there. But anyway, we don't do that here. So let me tell you something. The public affairs is fucking with you, okay? Here's another good question for you. How does running affect, because you mentioned that it's really hard, okay? And that you do get a lot of pushback and stuff. And then you mentioned that sometimes, well, especially in your first run, that you felt like, okay, maybe this isn't for me, but I'm not going to give up. How does it affect your, everything that you have to endure? How does it affect your like mental state?
Yeah.
How do you keep it together? Because you look gorgeous, you look like you got a good head on your shoulders, but I can only imagine the backlash that you face, girl. You know what I mean?
If I only tell you how many times I call my mom every day, like, like I said earlier, just finding good people that will always be there, like, not to judge, but just to listen. And that's like my mom. Like, my mom does that to like a key. Like, she's just like, okay. Like, I remember when I was receiving all that backlash, like this time running around too, she was like, you know what, like, calm down, like, don't cry about it, don't get upset about it. Like, people love you, people want to see you run. Like, if they didn't, you wouldn't have had people telling you to run again. Like, people want to see a change, and you can be that change. And like, yeah, my mom has a heart of gold. Like,
I love your mom already.
Yeah, she's great.
Do you get emotional when you talk about her?
Yeah, well, yeah.
Don't be crying on the show now because of the wine, okay?
Yeah, right.
Are you one of those drunk criers? Right? They're gonna be like, "What'd you do to my daughter on your show?"
Okay, they're just inspirational people.
For sure.
Yeah, they're both South Waco people. Well, my dad got here when he was like 4 or 5.
Yeah.
Been in this community, love this community. My mom, like, My mom has a gigantic family. Like,
Oh,
I'm
for
telling
real?
you, like,
Yeah.
all of South Waco's related to her. We go to HEB and we stay there for about 2 hours.
So the hood fucks with y'all heavy too, is what you're saying.
Yeah. And
see,
I
that's
think
what I'm
people
saying,
don't
yeah.
realize that
Yeah.
too. Like,
You're very well connected. You're not a fighter, but you're very well connected.
yeah,
Same.
yeah.
Although I did almost have my first fight like a few weeks ago. I did. That was scary, but I did. I talked about it on my last episode a little bit with Joe Leo, but
I've never gotten in a fight yet.
neither have I. I'm just saying, I almost had my first fight. I'm 31 years old, girl. I don't fight. I do not fight. If I put my hands on somebody, it's to sleep with them. That's it. Do you feel like you're being blackballed?
What do you mean by that?
Like, do you feel like you are? Do you feel like people are purposely trying to put a specific label on you to destroy your character as it pertains to running, and that way you don't stand a chance?
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people are trying to make me come out to be this like ugly person, this person who's not kind, person who doesn't care, this person. Like, I've had people too telling me, oh, she only wants office because her dad's in office, you know, power's getting to their head. And I'm like, no, like, that's way, way different. Like, that's like when you actually show up to the community events, when you like listen, like I said, like when you're part of the community, you want to see you change. And that's why I was running. I'm not doing it because my dad was like, hey, you should run. Like, this would be a good spot.
Like, we're going to be a political family.
Yeah. Like,
what about like, why can't your dad be an inspiration to you?
Yeah.
When did that not become in play? Like, that's not allowed to happen anymore, though?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And your dad is in the school board. It's not like he's the president. No shade on your dad. I love your dad because I know the name. And I just told you about how I remember him. And maybe I shouldn't say. Should I say? He beat somebody in that race. And I remember somebody was really mad about
that. Yeah. Well, he was like you said earlier, an underdog.
I don't vote. Yeah. You know what I mean? I just remember somebody being super upset about that. But good for your dad. I hope he's doing good things. And that's what I like about you guys, too, because you guys are the underdogs and you're coming out on top. You know what I mean? Yeah. Do you feel like you stand a chance this time?
I hope so. I mean, I've had a lot of people last time. Like, my campaign team, they've been big on, like, getting new people registered to vote, getting young people registered to vote, because, like, a lot of my classmates that I went to high school with, they don't vote. Like,
yeah, I'm not going to lie, I don't vote either.
Oh, well.
But we need to start, is what you're saying.
We need to get you registered.
Girl, we're about to rally. Listen, I want you to win so fucking bad, we might rally.
South Waco rally. Come
on. All right?
Yeah.
Listen, be like, how much, I know the fans. Come on, let's go, guys. We're all coming. Everybody who votes gets mimosa on me. That's how we're going to do this shit, okay? We're going to be at the polls. The polls? What, do they have in, like, the fucking library or something?
Yeah.
Yeah. We're going to pull up to the library, girl. I'm going to have the tent. Okay, we're going to have Fat Boy Michelampatanas out there because he's from South Waco, too.
He is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Chunky's hot. We're going to make it a whole fucking thing. If you vote and you come show me your ballot and you say that you voted for Tiffany, Vidana, mimosa on me. At 2 votes, you get a picture too. 3, you get something special.
That's so funny.
Okay. Do you feel like you're mislabeled? I mean, because you were just saying that I don't see how somebody can think that you're like a bitch or something. Like, you're super kind. Like,
yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't think anyone thinks I'm a bitch. I just think people like just the like this like local politics doesn't concern you. Like, politics don't concern you. You're a woman. You should go like start a family. You should be worried about like like. What is that any of your business?
Like,
yeah.
She has to go fucking make tortillas now, bitch. Shut up. She wants to run for the city council.
I think especially being a Hispanic woman too, like it's like people want to see you starting a family. Like you have no place in political like aspects unless you're older, you're done with raising your kids or whatever, and you did your due diligence or whatever you want to call it. But
please.
Yeah.
There's plenty of time for that.
Yeah. I'm worried about kids right now.
Okay. How do you challenge those stereotypes, though? Because, again, at 25 years old, I mean, there's probably a lot of people saying, nah, she don't know what the fuck she's doing. Don't vote for her, nothing. How do you challenge those stereotypes? That's
been tough. I've been trying to find that, just, telling people, like, how does my personal business affect you? Like,
right.
What does that impact have on you? Like, I'm not planning to have any kids anytime soon. Like, I'm focused on me, focused on investing in this community, focus on investing in myself too as a leader and as a young woman. So I'm like that doesn't concern you. Like, when does that stop people, like, just going against those stereotypes, calling them out on it, because I feel like before, like, if you would have knew me 5 years ago, I probably wouldn't have called you out on shit. Like, I would have just been like, no, like, okay,
somebody told me that they graduated with you and that you were not a talker, you were super shy in the corner all the time, and now they're like, oh, she's not fucking city.
Oh, I was one of those one of those like those nerd kids, the stereotype. Like, I did my work, graduated, like top of my class, like that was it for me. I wasn't that social, but I took on leadership roles in high school too. But now
it matters though because we're in our fucking mid-20s and 30s. So let's do
So, like I said, just seeing growth within myself. Like, even last time, like losing the election, I was like heartbroken and a loss is a loss, but learning how to grow from that instead of like having a self-pity party in that was big for me. And like, okay, well, let's see what I did wrong. Let's see what we can do better next time. Like,
I got you.
yeah.
It's so crazy to me that you can sit here and say to me that they want to throw all these labels on you and that you're this and you're that. But what about the other people that are actually in those positions?
I guess they fit the norm.
Pulling wool over. No, hello. I mean, I better shut up because I'm going to get in a lot of trouble. I
don't know. I think a lot of like our voters.
I feel like we're being lied to a lot.
Yeah.
I do. Somewhat. I feel like we're being lied to. I think there's certain perceptions of people that are just not true. I know a lot of these people.
Yeah.
Grinder.
Yeah.
And so, it's just, I'm just saying, like, let's stop the bullshit. Like, one thing I always learned about this, y'all are going to know I'm a hoe. Y'all are going to know that I'm this, that, and the other. I'm never going to, like, pull wool over nobody's eyes. What you see on camera is what you get outside. I feel like when it comes to, like, maybe not even just the city. I feel like in politics in general. I feel like there's a lot of people that just pull the wool over everybody's eyes. And y'all got the most problems. So how can you sit here and say Tiffany is not well equipped to run a leadership position, yet so-and-so... Andrew. Go ahead, Tiffany.
I know it's kind of hot in here.
Yeah,
right?
Go ahead, Tiffany, because it's pissing me off right now. But anyway.
It's just, yeah. Well, like, just putting your name out there, I'm sure you've, like, faced a lot of stuff by becoming more popular with people and becoming more in the know. Like, people are like, what? Like, what
I think that, and I'm happy that you say that. While I do think the positivity outweighs the negativity for sure, as the show has grown, listen, there's people in my life that are not in my life anymore. They couldn't handle the evolution, which is sad. And it was a sad thing to go through. I've had rumors spread about me, like on social media, people screenshotting things to me, people saying, I heard this and that about you. And you really just got to learn to just keep it pushing. Like, I don't have time for that. I got Tiffany Vidana coming on Saturday. Okay, bitch. I got a baby shower to go to and a birthday party after this too. And I'm already fucked up. And I still got a whole thing of mimosas outside with orange juice. And y'all want me to worry about what fucking Mary Sue says about me? I don't care. You know what I mean? And so I feel that for you, Tiffany. I feel the backlash that you get and everything, and I want you to know too, like when I was on radio, there was a lot of people behind the scenes that were trying to silence me as well. Like my program director, there was people in management that were like, don't send Andrew the remotes, don't do this, don't do that. And there was, shout out to Chrissy. She always made sure I was in the forefront. You know what I mean? So it's sad to hear that you went through the same thing, especially in the level of running for the city. Yeah. You know what I mean?
But, I think people are, I don't even know what about it. People want to like judge you and do that. Like, like I'm sure most of those people who said stuff about you had no clue who you were.
I don't know who they are.
Yeah. So.
I don't know who they are. Everybody knows who I am now. You know what I mean? But I don't know who they are. That's why, everything doesn't deserve a response.
For sure.
Yeah. Everything does not deserve a response, Tiffany. Yeah. No, for sure. Why is this so important for you?
That's a big question.
Yeah.
I think my community, the community I've called home for the past 25 years of my life, they deserve a leader who's gonna talk to them, who's gonna meet them, who's gonna knock on their door, see how they're doing. I'm not just gonna sit in a chair and make decisions on behalf of a district that I don't even talk to, that I don't even acknowledge, that I don't and I think that's something why that's been big on my heart. Like,
for sure,
people deserve better. They deserve better leadership, and I think Waco deserves homegrown leaders, like people who've seen like the bad parts of South Waco, the good parts of South Waco, like, and have seen the growth over the years, like, and want to continue to expand on the richness of culture, diversity that South Waco has to offer, and the pride, because there's so much pride in South Waco, like. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Now I have to say, and I will say a lot of the guests that have been on the show have been from South Waco. Somebody even asked me, like, is it true that you only invite South Waco people on the show? I was like, no. I said I like sleeping with people from South Waco. There's a difference. Okay, I've had North Waco people, I've had East Waco people, I've had Midway people, I've had Hewitt people, I've had all kinds. I had somebody from the fucking Bronx, for Christ's sakes, come on this show. Okay, I've had everybody on this show. But I will say there's a lot of the people that I met, like, I like using, like, Adrian Fajardo as an example. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Where his family back in the day, like, his dad and everything, they've all been on my fucking show. Angelo, Homer, they've all been, and those people have been through it. You know what I mean? And so I like seeing people like him go from where he is in the past to who he is now. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like things like that. Same thing like Dominic Villa, who advocates so hard for mental health.
Yeah, from especially in men. Like, that's a big stigma. Like,
yes, it's so wild. And, now I work out at the South Waco Rec Center at Fat Fit with Monica. You know what I mean? I don't know if she's...
I might have to join you.
You gotta come. Yeah, Monica be having us looking snatched. No. But yeah, no, and I just have to say this too. Like, even just doing this show, it's such a blessing because I get people from all walks of life, not even just from South Waco, but from everywhere in the city that have come from nothing to something. And it really inspires the viewer to be like, well, damn, I grew up with that person. And, you know, they used to be a hoe back in the day. Or they, you know, they were a fucking pothead, but now look at them now. You know what I mean? And it really inspires other people to keep moving forward. And I hope for you, Tiffany, that it does not, whatever happens, whatever the outcome of this vote is, I hope it doesn't stop you from doing what you're passionate about, because it sounds like you are passionate about this.
So like even last time I lost, you know, I didn't stop showing up for my community. I still show up to all these neighborhood associations. I show up for people if anyone has concerns, or even if the city of Waco needs like people to serve on boards or different like projects. I'm still there. Like I'm still going to be there because at the end of the day, it's about better serving my people, serving the community better, and making my community a better place to live in. So I don't care. I mean, I'd hope to win. Like, it'd be great. But even win or lose, like, I'm still going to show up, you know?
I got you. So listen, as this pertains, because we're running out of time, we need to go vote for Tiffany Vidana so she can win Waco City Council. And when she wins Waco City Council, we're having a big giant party. We're going to have a big giant party. We're going to have booze. We're going to have mimosas. We're going to have charcuterie boards. We're going to have fucking tacos. We're going to have everything. Tiffany, how do we go vote for you? Where do we go? When is this taking place? Tell us.
All right. So voting day is May 6th. They'll have voting centers all over Waco, but the main ones in South Waco are Cesar Chavez University High School, the South Waco Library. Make sure you're registered to vote first. Yeah, okay. Don't show up to the polling place and you're not even registered.
Not registered. Okay.
Register to vote.
We do it online, right?
I don't know.
I don't know either. Yeah.
I think in Texas is one of those states where they want it like in person. I think. You know?
Okay. Well, we're gonna go register to vote.
Yeah. So there's a lot of people. They have like voter registration papers. You can go down to the downtown office on Washington and register to vote. The process only takes like 2 to 3 minutes. Like,
for sure.
It's not bad. If you need to get registered to vote, you can always find me on social media. I have a lot of people who are deputy registrars, so they can get you registered like really quick. So
you got the plugs.
Yeah, I do have the
plugs. You got the plugs.
Yeah. But yeah, early voting starts April 24th. But yeah.
You want this bad, don't you?
I do. You know, I feel like I can invest a lot in the city, and the city can invest in me. Like, Is there a lot of opposition, or is it just you and like 3 other people, or? It's just me and one other person.
One other person. Do I know the other person?
Maybe. She's had the leadership role for about 24 years now.
I don't know her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But just, you know, coming that close last time, it was just, a lot of people were shocked, and it blew people's mind. They're like, you know what, you're supposed to get blown out the water. I was like, right. That's crazy. Yeah, I was, but.
Well, I guess we're going to see, Tiffany. I guess we're going to see. Yeah. You know, God, first of all, I have to thank you so much for coming onto this show. I know we could have went on for 100 hours, but, you know, you really gave us an earful on what's really going on behind the scenes and stuff like that. And it's not anything that I've been naive to. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah.
But I think, you know, I think this is important. You know what I mean? And I think a lot of the people that watch this episode, I hope that they can take from it that you really are invested in giving change. It's not about the image for you. This is like the real life for you.
Yeah, I was like, for me, I like I said, I've been volunteering since I was 12. I've done like Challenger Little League, No Limitations, volunteered with Caritas. Like, I've been all over this city. Right. Different aspects, the Animal Welfare Board. So I've literally done it all. Like, I just love this place. Like, even though some people hate Waco and they're like, I'm ready to get the hell out of here.
No, I like it here. I like it here. I do like it here. Waco fucks with the public affair heavy as fuck. I love it. Yes, I love it. I'm so happy my parents moved me here when I was 13. Do you get much time for your personal life, or is everything just invested for this?
You know, I still have a lot of time for my personal life. I'm in school right now, so that's kind of how I'm investing in myself. I'm getting my master's degree at Baylor in social work. So, yeah, so that's a good investment in myself. It does take takes some time, not a lot of time, but it allows me to be flexible in my with my schedule, so I'm able to be around. You know.
Listen, Tiffany, best of luck to you, honey. I hope that this, you know, that you become triumphant in this race. If not, just keep it pushing, okay? Sure. And I'm encouraging all my viewers, please go out there, vote for Tiffany Vidana for Waco City Council, please. She's passionate about this. She's not about the image. She's about that action. Isn't that how you guys put it? She's about that action. Tiffany, what can you leave us with before we go?
I'm trying to think if there's anything, you know. I feel like we've laid it all on the table, but you know what? Always keep on investing in yourself. Forget what people have to say about you, because people are always going to talk bad about you. Find your people that will always like comfort you, because you're going to need it. Like, anything that you do, when you start seeing growth in yourself, like, there's always going to be people hating on you and wishing on your downfall. So find your group of people that love you, that will always uplift you, because they're going to come in handy.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you 100%.
Yeah.
And they come far and few between. Tiffany, thank you so much for coming on to this episode of The Public Affair, and best of luck to you. Thank you so much for coming on the show. Truly was a joy. Honestly, I loved it. To everybody who tuned into this episode, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Please go vote for Tiffany Vidana, Waco City Council. May 4th is when the polls open. May 6th.
So like,
right after Cinco de Mayo. So we're all going to be fucked up anyway. Go out there, and we're going to have Cinco de Mayo Part 2 out there, all right? It's going to be a fucking movie. Tiffany, thank you again. To everybody who tuned in, thank you guys again. Before we go, I definitely want to use this opportunity to give a shout out to just some more of our sponsors of this episode of The Public Affair. This episode was brought to us by Soko Soccer Academy with Dominic Gutierrez and Ariana Gutierrez, located at 3304 Franklin Avenue. Yes, we know Soko, right? I love Soko. They offer team, small group, and individual skills training. They also have elite skills training to make your kids superb star athletes. That's right, with professional athletes. Follow on Facebook at Soko Soccer Academy, and on Instagram at Soko Soccer 254. Oh, they're registering for their summer camp now too. So if your kids need something to do for after school, Soko Soccer Academy has got them. Thank you guys so much for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair. Of course, to Jeffrey Monreal with Pollo Box and Audio, who just tinted my brand new car so that way nobody can see what's going on inside. Home for all your LED needs and auto accessories, installation of stereos, door speakers, and audio systems. He also builds custom subwoofer enclosures and so much more. Listen, he does it all. Your one-stop shop to get everything done in one roof. To Jeffrey Monreal, thank you so much for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair. Of course, the Brothers Roofing and Remodeling with Jesus Sanchez from Mart, Texas, a small construction business from Mart, but specializing in general roofing needs for all the surrounding areas. You can protect your house from the crazy elements of the Texas weather with his high quality and affordable work. I think it's so hot that somebody from Mart watches my show. And then he's hot. So Jesus Sanchez, thank you so much for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair. Follow on Facebook and call the number on the screen for a consultation. Of course, Andrea Estrada with 360 Lux, offering several party rentals, including props, bubble guns, money guns, and so much more. And all to go with the 360 photo booth with slow motion capture, 2 LED lights, and so much more. You know how everybody's doing that? That's what's in right now, the 360 motion capture.
Yeah.
Yes, okay. Call the number on the screen for pricing and booking. 360 Lux. Andrea Estrada, thank you so much for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair. Of course, the Rosalina Perez, Rosalina's insurance agency, provides insurance needs for all, auto, life, health, and everything. Also provides notary services, because we all need a notary service every once in a while. Contact the number on the screen. Habla español también. Oh, I just won a prize from Rosalina's insurance agency. I went over there to the shop, and the office. Her daughter was working, the baby. Rosalina Insurance Agency. She does so much for the city. I'm so proud of her. Rosalina's Insurance Agency, thank you so much for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair. And of course, to Fat Boy Michelada and Botana, my boy Junior Banda, who provides the best Michelada and Botana plates for yourself or for a party, with a menu of a ton of different items, including Botana, Bos Chamois, pickles, and more. He's locally operated, so you guys got to make sure you get the best and not the rest. He's from South Waco as well. One of my biggest supporters of The Public Affair. That guy goes hard for me. I love Junior Banda, and we're going to have him out there in the voting polls as well. Follow on Facebook and Instagram at Fat Boy Michelada and Botana and place your order now. Junior Banda, thank you so much for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair. To everybody that tuned in again, thank you guys again so much. Tiffany Vidana, thank you for coming on to The Public Affair. Vote Tiffany. Vote Tiffany, all right? And don't forget, because you can't tell anybody who you voted for afterwards, just keep it between us.
This has been a Rogue Media podcast.